If you want to understand Brexit and what happened last night, Britain's relationship with the EU, the whole thing, stop. Don't think about that stuff. It's not really about that. This is a global phenomenon. This is a revolt against technocracy and elites telling everybody else what to do. At the end of the day, for the past 20 years, 80% of the people have been told 80% of the time by the top 20% what to do, what to think, and what's good for them. Guess what? They've figured it out. The 20% needs to listen, because if they don't, they're going to find something out. The Hamptons is not a defensible position.
Hey guys, this is me, Crimson60620, and if you ever want to actually get some great art and help support my channel, help support me, check out my merch page at streamlabs.com/Crimson60620 /merch. Here you can actually find great pieces of art put on t-shirts, and it'll be updated frequently with a lot of my other art. So thank you for support, and please enjoy the video. Thanks.
Hey guys, I'm sorry that took a little bit longer than what I expected to. Basically, had to go get me some hot chocolate and had to heat up the fucking milk. So, cheers, guys. And so, speaking of hot chocolate, I don't know if you guys know this, but just looking at my skin, did you guys know that I was black? Like, I'm African American with some native mixed in there some kind of way. But, yeah, I'm black. I'm blickily black. And I don't know, like, maybe it was just my diction. Maybe it was my dick size. I realized that I'm black. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to keep this fucking meme up. Anyway, what gets me is that, you know, there are certain people who aren't blessed with the ability to realize what race they are, because, like, I'm black and, like, I'm black. There are some people who actually believe that they're, even though they're not black, they're superior. Like, what? And, well, quite frankly, and I'm knocking shit over trying to get some fucking marshmallows with my hot chocolate, but, there are some people who actually may be this thing called white. And I don't know. It's fucking news to me, right? They believe that they're fucking superior. And there are people who are black that, like, push back against it and may have some alternative takes on what makes because I'm old LG. Yes, my hair is fucking white and gray because I'm old. Surprisingly enough, I had gray hairs at fucking 15. But recently, fuck you guys. I love you guys, but that's old. That shit old. Motherfucker. Oh, that cut bad. Fuck. That was a good one. Recently, The Cut, like a human interest channel, actually did a video talking about what exactly are white people superior at. And this has caused a lot of buzz around the interwebs. Now, what I've seen other people react to it. People who basically weren't white, weren't black, they were white. They were reacting to it because it seems a little it seems a little racist if you're coming from the point where somebody's just trying to attack whiteness and shit like that. Like, I don't think that was the nature of this video, and it's actually kind of 4 minutes long, so I'm not gonna have to speed it up, but I am gonna respond to it, and it's gonna be this is gonna be interesting because unlike with most videos I do on this channel, I've actually watched this, and so I want to kind of commentate on some of the shit that I've seen, and it's kind of interesting the way people actually have responded to this video, and let's have this conversation. Oh, look. Let's start over, because I forgot to turn the sound up.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oh, well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
So they asked, wait, what? Why didn't they just say black folks with a fucking K? Like, do they think that they are like? Do they think that they are being witty? Like, how? Why? Fuck, why? Okay, let's hear the shit.
What are white people superior at?
Man.
So, obviously, these motherfuckers don't know how to answer this question because it's an awkward ass question to ask people. Like, no shit. That is literally an awkward ass question to ask people. And these people don't seem like they are. Like, I joke about wanting to see people that have more. I want to see more people break out into YouTube and shit because I feel like people should express themselves better. But these don't seem like those people who would literally be comfortable sitting in front of a camera and talking to strangers as if they're talking to lifelong friends or lifelong acquaintances. And to just answer this fucking question like this, I'm sorry. That's like, why? Why are they sitting back and just like, what's so wrong about this reaction?
Oh, God.
What are white people superior at?
They
I just love that. I just love that response. She just started laughing at their ass. Like, oh, God. So let's continue.
just keep talking. Mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs. Like, that's all you see.
Cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking.
Okay. So, kind of like that's a take where I don't think it's just white people that love their pets. But I will say this. If you're like, how do I put it? If you're a person where it's been conditioned in your social economic standing where, you know, pets are like the family, are part of the family, then yeah, of course you actually, and that's permeating throughout the country, but throughout the culture. But it's just like, for a long time, it was just like, you see the white picket fence with the, you know, with the 2.5 kids and the dog and like the cat. And if you're in a place economically where you can barely feed your fucking self, sometimes you don't have a fucking pet. And then like it's starting to become more normalized now, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, like, yeah. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, and like with the rise of a lot of people that's not having children or using pets to substitute a place of a child, like yeah, of course. But I don't think that's just a white people thing. But let's continue.
Yes. I get that you love your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere. I guess, you know.
Another thing too, for a long time, there were rules that you couldn't take a pet anywhere. But if you get a free pass on a lot of shit that other people don't get, like people that have a certain skin affliction, then you get a pass with shit. But again, that has a lot to do with social class and structures that a lot of motherfuckers didn't used to be able to get away with. But fuck, let's continue.
Hey, emotional support animals, I guess.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Fuck, man, like making cereal.
Casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's always tuna. What do you mean? It's always tuna.
Use.
Did she say casseroles? Like, look. I know a lot of black folks that cook. I know a lot of fucking black folks that cook. And I will say this: there is just not a lot of casseroles. That is it's not a lot of casserole situations. I'm sorry, it's not a part of our culture. And I mean, say what you will, but it's just not a part of our culture, the casserole culture. Like, I'm sorry, like, and it's just not shitting on it, but it's just like, yeah, no. We don't do casseroles here. They don't bake down here. But let's continue.
Using mayonnaise in a lot of their recipes.
Making bland food.
Unseasoned chicken.
How you gonna start whole?
All right. We're getting into the kind of cultural passive racism. Like, yeah, okay. Black folks cook food in like heavily seasoned ways. I will give these people that critique. Now, mind you, black folks have a lot of diseases that actually spawned from heavy salt, heavy fat diets. But that's also because a lot of the things we had to endure and the way we've had to learn how to make food with the scraps that we have. Like, of course, you learn how to be motherfucking MacGyver when it comes to the kitchen if you were only deal with scraps. But, fuck, let's continue.
Spice wars and don't even use seasoning on your food. I mean, come on.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Smelling funky. Santa Claus.
Okay. Now that is a fucked up ass stereotype. That one is. So, yeah, no, fuck that.
Unseasoned chicken.
How you gonna start?
So let's go back to it. Let's go back to it.
Seasoning on your food. I mean, come on.
What exactly?
So no, that's a negative stereotype, and I'm sorry, Kat. Like no. Now, if you can say that people's different body chemistry has different shit, like yeah, of course, but like I've worked in a corporate office and like it's no specific white person smell. Like no, like I will say this. Different body chemistries comes off different to other people. And so yeah, like yeah, of course, like different people smell different ways, but it's like that whole thing about, you know, that old stereotype that certain cultures smell like certain animals. Like, nah, that shit is dead. Like, if motherfuckers wanted to make a 20-minute video about this bullshit, okay, do your thing. But like, the rest of the shit seems not even as a product of, well, racism. A lot of this shit seems like a product of being a fucking superior culture and getting away with a lot of shit. Or not having to deal with the struggles of underclass of people. But let's continue.
White people are superior at.
Smelling funky.
Santa Claus.
Extreme water sports.
Corn mazes.
White people.
Wait, the extreme water sports. Again, that's something where it just seems as if it's more akin to, well, we have a different type of leisure time and we can get away with doing other shit, where it just doesn't seem like, again, it just seems like a lot of these critique isn't laying it at the feet of being white. It's laying it at the feet of being higher in the social standing where other cultures were not. But let's continue.
Are great at having fun. That's a fun.
And again, like that point, it's exactly right there. He actually just said it, and it's just like, it's more akin to, well, you know, they're not part of the underclass. But let's continue.
Function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are very superior.
Wait, so he spells it out. He spells the shit out. Like, this is some shit, like, oh my god, like, is this the reason why so many people are having a bitch fit? Because they don't like talking about how a situation may favor them, and they need to feel like, oh, this is just being fucking, like, against, like, the concept of whiteness because some fucking video wants to make a point. Like, no, I'm so confused with this. But let's continue.
At their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
What exactly are white people?
And again, like, the two things that I'm actually hearing. The two things that I'm actually hearing is that the one bad shit, like, of course, like, nah, dog, come on, get off that whole white people smell funny. Like, that's one thing that I'm actually hearing that's fucked up. But the other is that, well, it's coming down to fucking privilege and the fact that you may have had not that you are all white people are rich and powerful, but you don't start at a deficit of where people who aren't white come from. Like, that's what I'm hearing with a lot of these fucking answers. But let's hear some more shit.
People are superior at.
Not getting arrested.
You know, I was driving down the street with down the highway with a friend of mine who was white, and he's like, I'm just want to pull over and pee, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I was like, please don't.
So, and again, you just hear these whole things about this fucking video so far has been 90% privilege, and that 1% chick that, you know. But let's continue.
Because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Insecurity, pretending,
fear,
being fearful of nothing.
Now, this may sound like a racist thing, but we had President Trump. We had fucking President Trump because of fear. This is just like, I get why people will take this as offensive. I get why. But we had President Trump. We literally had a motherfucker that told people that I'm going to protect you. That literally started his campaign out on Mexicans are murderers and rapers, and I think some people are good people. We literally had President Trump's like, look at Chicago, it's just a bad city. There is fucking a lot of white fear and prejudice because reasons. And if motherfuckers feel like that's taking a fucking jab at them, if that they feel as if they are offended or attacked because somebody said that there's a lot of white fear going on in the fucking country, you're doing the thing. Now, I'm not saying that all white people feel like this, and I fucking hate that I have to preference that. But if you are literally getting upset by this video about points like this, fuck the girl who talked about white people having some whatever. But if you're getting upset by this in this video, you're doing the thing. But let's continue.
Ignorance.
Blame.
Letting their egos control their every move.
Privilege.
So, letting the egos control everything. Again, I can see how that can be a problematic answer. But we live in a fucking country, society, where white is seen as default. And it's not just fucking white people that do that. It's black people, it's Hispanic people, it's like the same thing where people think straight is default. And it's just like, you guys have to understand the amount of fucking privilege that you had. And privilege does not mean that you're rich and powerful all the time. It's because you seem as fucking default. And that's a fucking issue. But let's continue.
Feeling victimized.
Playing the victim.
Congratulating themselves over shit.
You know, and I was actually, and funny enough, there was a clip that was going around talking about, because I did the Animaniacs review and I've seen it a lot, it being mentioned in context, and I've seen it also in context recently, which means the clip just surfaced back on fucking Twitter, and people are actually using it to their extent. And it's an interview of George Carlin talking about Andrew Dice Clay and how he feels that Andrew Dice Clay at the time is punching down at specific groups and individuals. And he makes a point. The reason why, even though Andrew Dice Clay's comedy was for young white men, those young white men felt like they're being a victim because, you know, and he goes into that women are trying to take their place and immigrants and shit like that. This is something that is built in to the current conservative party. Not as a bug, but as a feature to actually say that, hey, white America, hey, white young men, you're being victimized because these women, these gays, these black people are trying to take your place, and your place is under siege and under attack. Never mind the rich motherfuckers who are above you that's really oppressing your wages. Never mind the rich motherfuckers above you who's actually making everybody work harder so they have less time to spend and socialize and really fucking understand yourself and really make sure that you can connect with people. Never mind the rich motherfucker who's above you, who is sitting back and forcing you to become the identity of the shit that you buy, forcing you to become your fandom instead of actually making sure that you become a complete person so you can start console wars or canon wars. And canon, I mean like literally what's canon of a show and stuff like that. It's wild because the shit, this privilege shit is what it's talking about. But let's continue.
That they're incompetent at, or that should have already been done?
They're superior at being dicks.
What exactly are white people superior at?
And again, like, I get it. A lot of these are just variations on they have a privilege and this is how that privilege is affecting me. But like a lot of this shit is a variation on that. But let's continue.
Oppression.
Gaslighting.
Lack of empathy.
Intellectualizing oppression.
Did I say oppression?
They're just creatively thinking of new ways of like always staying one step ahead of other people. We get rid of slave catchers, then let's just expand the police force. Like that stuff to me is wild.
What exactly?
Again, like again, we just hear the same fucking answers. And there's not nothing to take away from the men and women who are actually saying it. It is that, hey, you're using your situation to benefit you, and in turn saying that you're a victim so you can use your shit to fucking benefit you. But let's continue.
Are white people superior at?
Making us believe that we don't matter.
Believing that they're superior.
Feeling superior.
Thinking they're superior.
Thinking that they're superior.
Thinking that they are superior.
Self-delusion.
Controlling the narrative.
Believing their own press.
Marketing of white superiority.
Whether you are Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're conservative, like white people are really good at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, they are actually a whole separate race, when actually white DNA comes from the black female?
So what?
Okay, so this is getting a little bit close to that bullshit that Nick Cannon is actually saying with that young lady said. But I'm gonna say this. There is one human fucking race. There's one. We all have descended from the same common group of ancestors. One common ancestor, but the same common ancestor. There's no different races. And of course, I'm sure if you guys watch this, if you watch this channel, you've heard it before, where the concept of whiteness was created to define what not whiteness was. But yeah, let's just keep going.
What exactly are white people superior?
Honey, lying, stealing, and cheating.
Manipulation. Withholding information.
Lying.
Telling lies.
What kind of lies?
The lies of history.
You're just seeing the same shit. Like, this shouldn't be a fucking video where a lot of people are just saying like, oh, they're just shitting on white people because they just want to shit on white people. Like, this should be a video where people are saying like, fuck, why do these people feel as if white people lie or they're using their privilege and shit like that? Why do these people feel that way? This should be the reaction to a lot of this shit. But a lot of these motherfuckers are going around saying like, oh, this is shitting on white people. Dog, no, that's not what this video is actually doing. These are people expressing their pain and their hurt that they've experienced in their fucking lives. Except for that one chick that's talking about, oh, this just smell. Like, no. A lot of this shit is just like the same thing over and fucking over. Hey, white supremacy is a thing, and that supremacy thing is that they believe white is normal and everything else is beneath. But let's continue.
They say that history is written by the victor, but the victor could be replaced by the colonizer.
What are white people superior at?
Conquering.
Imperialism.
Colonizing.
Colonialism.
Colonization. Colonization.
I mean, they're not wrong. Like, look what Europe did. They're not wrong. And I will give you one better. First they did it to themselves, and then they did it to the rest of the world. They're not wrong. And yes, the US is currently still doing it. This shit right here is something that we need to fucking address in the history of what's going on in the world now and what's happened in the recent past. And again, oh God, I feel like a broken record by saying this, No one is saying that all white people are rich and all white people are powerful and they own fucking, tons of slaves and are okay with the situation. But as a concept of white people, what is happening is this shit. We need to acknowledge that, like, yo, we need to stop taking a certain group of people as normal and everything else is abnormal or less than. But let's continue.
They might be better at that than us and everybody else, really.
They ballsy. They rose up all over the world, and they walk into everybody's house and says, "Oh, this is nice. I'm gonna take your shit." And they have.
Yes, Wajida, I know what you're talking about. Yes, they're technically more than two human races. But we're talking about Homo sapiens. We're talking about Homo sapiens here. So yes, Mr. I know what a haplogroup is. I know what common ancestries are. I know what fucking phonology is. Not phylogeny. Yeah, phylogeny. That's the genetic tree of life and shit like that. Thank you. Thank you, good sir. I stand corrected.
Have no qualms about it. They can take anything, baby.
What exactly are white people superior at?
They're real good at violence.
Violence. Genocide. It's like stealing people's lives just because they feel like it.
If you are white and you know this is happening and you say nothing, then you're a killer too. You are adopting a whole philosophy that says it's okay to do this, and part of that philosophy allows you to be ignorant, right? And they're like, oh, I didn't know. What exactly?
So, he's being hyperbolic, but hot take here, hot take. I 100% agree with them. Shocking! I know! Fuck! What? What? Now, here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. Why do I agree with them? Why the fuck do I agree with them? I agree with them because I have that same principle when it comes to shit that other groups that I'm a part of that actually do shit, and I'm complicit if I don't speak out about it. A genocide in Yemen because we want to fight Saudi's wars. If you don't say shit about it, you're becoming implicit about it. If you know there is bad shit that is happening to people by you and you're not condemning the shit, you're complicit into it. The reason why I'm no longer part of religion, because I saw some of the shit that people was okay with and said shit all about. So, yes, do I agree with this particular point? Not because he's saying he's against white people or it's against white people. But no, if you know some shit, say some shit. Speak out about it. That's a thing. If you know, and let's make it small and intimate and personal. If you know that somebody in your job is fucking over everybody else and you don't say shit, you become implicit with the shit. So this is a critique that I fully 100% agree with because you know some of the shit that is hurting people and you're not saying anything about it. So I fucking agree with that critique. Hot take, whatever. But yeah, no, fuck that. Like, you know, Wajid in the chat. He's a big animal lover and he's a vegan because he's had this same motherfucking revelation when it comes to how we treat our animal cousins because we want meat. And, you know, there's some complicity in there of, like, I'm a meat eater. And I recognize that some of the shit that we do to our fucking animals are fucking horrible. But, like, acknowledge the shit. Fucking acknowledge the shit. No one is gonna come in, no hero is gonna come in, break down your door and says, aha! You support it and you're you're saying something about it. So now we just need to execute like Order 67, whatever it was in StarCraft, like in Star Wars. No, that's not what's going to happen. But acknowledging the problem, acknowledging what's going on, is at least a step to try to fucking fix it, so you don't live with that uncomfortable shit. But let's continue.
Are white people superior at?
Taking what's not there.
Taking shit.
Taking our ideas.
Copycatting.
Gentrification.
Appropriating things that do not belong to them.
I mean, like, Harlem Renaissance, I mean, like, certain foods, certain customs. I mean, like, and it's different from being influenced by something and making it your own, but just wholesale stealing. Again, this is coming from a point where you have fucking privilege. And I'm gonna sound like a Hotep motherfucker in a second, but fuck! Like, what caused me to have this reaction is to see some of these other motherfuckers who are literally bitching and crying like, oh, the cut sounds racist and they supporting racism. Like, fuck. Fuck. Let's continue.
Taking over other people's cultures and making you believe that they invented it.
Maybe they're thinking of it as repurposing. It's like recycle and repurpose.
As my grandma would say, them white folk, they'll take it if you don't copyright it.
They are very good at destruction of land, destruction of people, destruction of humanness.
What exactly are...
Hey. I'm gonna say this. Besides the white people smell funny girl, what is it that you find offensive if you are watching this video and find it offensive? Where do you find this offensive? Can you say that they chose, some of these motherfuckers chose their words wrong? Fucking of course you can, because some of them just, but let's let this finish out. We're almost finished.
Are white people superior at?
White people are not superior with anything.
Nothing.
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 There's nothing. Nothing.
Now, there's some sarcasm in here. There's some general things. Let's let them finish this out.
I don't believe that they're superior in any way, shape, or form.
Just because our skin color is different, you're no better than me, you're no smarter than me. No superiority there.
So, great. Now that I finished alienating like a good majority of my audience, I want to say that what this video does is this. It talks about people and where their hurt is. It talks about how they see the world and what they've seen in a culture, not one particular person, who they feel that is wrong though. Now, could they have said it better? A lot better. Yeah, of course. But this isn't a case of, oh, the cut is attacking attacking white people. This is a case where this is the Black Lives Matter protest in a form. This is in a more edible form, if that's a term. It's the Black Lives Matter protests in a way where it's just like, yes, it's coming from black people. They feel like a lot of shit has been happening to them. They feel like a lot of people have benefited from their downfall. You hear most of these motherfuckers talking about, you hear most of these motherfuckers talking about how it's some sort of one group being lower on the social hierarchy than the next. And that's what you hear. And it's sad that a lot of people are taking this in a totally different way than what it is, yeah, you can actually say that there was one problematic answer in this whole fucking thing. But other than that, like, please help me out. Where's the wrong that these people are saying that doesn't come from a place of hurt? But anyway, guys, I'm gonna take a break, give me some water, and we're gonna move on to what I think would be the final video of the night. Sit right back, and I forgot to been doing this for the whole night. Please like, subscribe, or share, and follow me on Twitch or Facebook, and it'll be very appreciative. All right.